morning, students. This is our 11th science class. Our subject is biology, chapter 2.1, Kingdom Protista. Now, in our previous class, we have discussed Kingdom Monera. Now, in this class, we have discussed Kingdom Protista. This is the second kingdom of five kingdom classification system given by Whittaker. Now, in this system, Kingdom Protista, you know, protist is a Greek word which means primary. So, in Protista, we have to study the organism which have primary organism, such as here primary organism, it means that they have unicellular organism and it has primary or prokaryotic cell. Someone is multicellular and someone is unicellular organism. So, in this kingdom, unicellular, eukaryotic, aquatic, microorganism. In this kingdom Protista, we have to study the organism which have unicellular. It means that all the function or all the living activities of organism perform in only one cell. Second one is eukaryotic. These cells are eukaryotic. In eukaryotic cell, the nucleus are of well developed, but in prokaryon or prokaryotic, nucleus is not in well developed stage. So in eukaryotic cell, eukaryon means well developed nucleus. Next one is aquatic microorganism. In this group, we have to study those microorganisms which take place in water. So it is known as aquatic microorganism. So in group Protista, we have to study unicellular. It means that it has only one cell. Second one is eukaryotic cell, and third one is aquatic microorganism. So, in this group, we have studied such type of organism. Next one is the locomotory organs of these are flagella or cilia or pseudopodia. First one is flagella. This type of locomotory organ is known as flagella. Second one is pseudopodia. For example, in amoeba, this type of locomotory organ is known as pseudopodia. Pseudo means false, podia means feet. So they have false feet, and such type of organism are the example amoeba. Next one is cilia. In paramecium, hair-like structure are present in their upper surface. These thread-like structure are known as cilia. So there are three types of locomotory organ in these organisms. First one is flagella, second one is pseudopodia, and third one is cilia. Now arrangement of cilia in 2 plus 9 plus 2 pattern. 9 plus 2 pattern, it means that in their first row there are 9 flagella and their second row there are 2 flagella. So this type of arrangement is known as 9 plus 2 arrangement take place in the paramecium. Now the mode of nutrition. The next one is mode of nutrition. It means how do they take their food. So mode of nutrition is autotrophic. Autotrophic type of mode of nutrition. It means that they have prepared their own food itself. Next one is holozoic. Holozoic type of mode of nutrition in which they take engulf the food material and proper alimentary canal are present in there. So this type of mode of nutrition is known as holozoic. It means they engulf the food. Next one is saprophytic and parasitic. In saprophytic mode of nutrition, they take their own food by the dead and decay substance. So such type of mode of nutrition is known as saprophytic type of mode of nutrition. Then last one is parasite. Parasite means those organisms which take their own food by the other animal and they depend on the food from the other element. Such type of organisms are known as parasite. So they have four type of mode of nutrition: holozoic, parasite, saprophyte and autotrophic. Do you understand? Okay. Now next topic is the next feature of protista are garbage and dustbin of classification. They are known as garbage or dustbin of classification. Why? Because they have exhibit character both plant as well as animal. So protists have character both plant as well as animal, so they can classify as the garbage or dustbin of classification. Why? Because they have both character plant as well as animal, so it is known as the garbage or dustbin of classification. Okay. Now our next characteristic features of protista are cell division. Cell division. In cell division possess chromosomes duplication. It means that chromosomes are duplicate. Duplicate means they prepare their own chromosomes itself. So it is the main characteristics feature of the kingdom protista. Now we have to take classification of protista. So see here the classification of protista. Then we have seen the classification of protista. Protista may be classified into three groups. First one is autotrophic. Autotrophic means it can prepare on food itself. Second one is saline mold. In saline mold, they are non-cellular and cellular. There are two types. Molds are of two types: non-cellular and cellular. Next one is protozoan. Proto means primary, zoans means animal. Then protozoans are the protozoans. Protozoans means primary organism. They are may be classified into four groups. First one is zooflagellate. zoo, flagellate. Second one is sarcodines, sarcodines. Next one is sporozoans, sporozoans. Next one is ciliates. So this is the classification of Protista. Now first one is autotrophic. Autotrophic protist means they can prepare their own food with the help of photosynthesis. So such type of protist organisms are known as autotrophic. The example of autotrophic are diatoms and euglena. So euglena and diatoms are the example of autotrophic organism. Second one is slime mold. Slime mold has less chlorophyll, so it cannot prepare their own food. They have irregular shape organism. These are of two types: acellular and cellular. Non-cellular or cellular means they does not have a cellular body structure, and cellular means it have a definite cellular structure, but it does not have a definite shape. Irregular shape organism. Okay. Next one is protozoan protist. Third one is protozoan protist. Proto means primary, zoans means animal. So primary animal are known as protozoans. They are unicellular organisms. On the basis of the locomotory organ, they have divided into the four groups. Zooflagellate means they have locomotory organ as a flagella. Example, euglena. Sarcodines means it have locomotory organs. Have false. It means they have false feet or pseudopodia. Example, amoeba. Third one is sporozoans. Sporozoans means they locomotion through the spores, for example, plasmodium. And next one is ciliates. It means their locomotory organ is cilia. They have cilia as a locomotory organ. Example, paramecium. So this is the classification of Protista. They are classified into three groups: autotrophic, slime mold, and protozoans. Okay. Now our next topic is the structure of typical protist. You know that Protista does not have a definite shape, just like an amoeba. Amoeba does not have definite shape. Its shape changes from place to place. Their locomotory organ is pseudopodia. Some of protists have a definite shape, such as paramecium. Its shape is just a sleeper-like. Its shape is sleeper-like, and it has a locomotory organ, cilia. So these are the structure of the protist. The flagella are arranged in 9+2 microfibril structure. Mode of nutrition is autotrophic and some is heterotrophic. But in amoeba, they have false feet or pseudopodia. Now, locomotion in protist. Locomotion in protist through the locomotory organ. Such locomotory organ just in a paramecium, the locomotory organ is cilia. Cilia are some small structure on the body of the paramecium, so it has moved through the cilia. Then next locomotory organ is flagella. Flagella is the thread-like structure, and euglena move through the flagella, so its locomotory organ is flagella. Now next one is pseudopodia. Pseudo means false, podia means feet. So they have false feet, and such type of locomotion take place in amoeba. So amoeba locomote through the pseudopodia or false feet. So this is the locomotion in the protista or primary organism. We have discussed our next topic, which is nutrition in protist. Nutrition means how would it take the food from the environment is known as nutrition. Then on the mode of nutrition, protists are of following types. First one is known as photosynthetic or holophyte. Photosynthetic means it prepares their own food itself by the process of photosynthesis, and photosynthesis is the process in which they take raw material from the nature, and in presence of sunlight it prepare their own food. So such type of organisms are known as photosynthetic microorganism. Next thing is holozoic. Holozoic means it takes their own food. Engulf means it has a proper alimentary canal. Next one is saprobic. These are the type of mode of nutrition which secrete digestive enzyme from the cell surface. These are the example: slime mold. It cannot prepare their own food. Next one is parasites such as trypanosoma and entamoeba histolytica. These are parasites. They take their food on the other organism. And then mixotropic, it means that dead protists obtain their food by two ways, by means of saprophytism and holophytism. It means they are both mixed, saprophytic as well as halophytic. So this type of mode of nutrition is known as mixophyte. Example is photosynthetically euglena obtain food by the means of both method, saprophytism as well as halophytism. So this is the mode of nutrition in the protist. Now our next topic is reproduction. Reproduction in protist. So let's see how would protists reproduce. Reproduction means to reproduce the offspring. This process is known as reproduction. Now we see how would protists reproduce. So reproduction in protista. Reproduction in protista, there are two modes of reproduction. One is sexual and another is asexual. So first we discuss the asexual type of reproduction. The reproduction takes place by the two methods, asexual and second one is sexual. In asexual type of mode of nutrition of reproduction, first one is fission, cyst formation, spore formation and budding. Fission, cyst formation, budding, and next one is spore formation. Spore. The sexual reproduction may be by the formation of gametes. It may be two types: by the formation of gamete, and second one is conjugation. Conjugation. So the method of reproduction, first one is asexual type of method of reproduction. In this fission means the body of organism divide into two parts and each part develop into new organism. Such type of mode of nutrition is known as fission. Now next thing is by cyst formation. Cyst is the structure that arises in the unwanted or unfavorable condition. A thick wall around the cell is formed and this is known as cyst. When favorable conditions take place, then cysts are reproduced to the new organism. So such type of mode of reproduction is known as formation of cyst. Next one is spores. Protists form some germinating. On germinating, each spore gives rise to a new individual. For example, slime mold. Spore is a spherical shell structure. These spores, on germinating, when outer cell is burst, then spores are spread throughout and they reproduce new kinds of offspring of same kind. Then next one is budding. Budding, there are some outgrowth develop into the body of protist and these buds are outgrowth separated from the main body and it develop into the other organism. Such type of reproduction is known as budding. So there are four types of mode of reproduction. First one is fission, second one is cyst, third one is budding, and fourth one is spore. So these four types of mode of reproduction is the example of asexual reproduction. Now we discuss the sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction are of two types. In first type, the gametes are formed. Gametes are two types, male gamete and female gamete. In this type of reproduction, two types of gametes are produced by the organism, male gamete and female gamete. Male and female gamete fuse together to form the new organism. Now, next one is conjugation. In conjugation, two organisms are close to each other. There are conjugation bridge formed between them and genetic material or hereditary material transfer from one cell to another, donor cell to acceptor cell, and then conjugation bridge is left and two organisms are separated on each other and they have to produce new organisms. Such type of mode of reproduction is known as conjugation. So there are two types of reproduction that take place, sexual and asexual reproduction. Now, life cycle of Protista. The life cycle of Protista in two ways, haplontic and diplontic patterns. First one, we can discuss haplontic pattern of life cycle. Then second one is diplontic pattern and third one is diplohaplontic pattern. So there are three types of life cycle take place in Protista. First one we have discussed, haplontic type of life cycle. Life cycle of Protista take place by means of three methods. First one is haplontic. Second one is diplontic. And third one is diplontic. So first one we explain haplontic. In haplontic life cycle, it has a haploid type of cells. It means that they have number of chromosomes is haploid. So this type of life cycle is known as haplontic type of life cycle. It which has isogamete. Iso means same. So same type of gamete take place is in haplontic type of life cycle. The number of chromosomes will be n or single. Now in this type of life cycle, zygote is formed, where zygote in meiosis cell division they give single cell or haplontic cells. So these are the mode of sexual reproduction. This is known as haplontic pattern of life cycle. In this method, there are two types of gamete are formed. Both gamete are same, so it is known as isogamous type of reproduction. It is the example of sexual reproduction in haplontic type of life cycle. Now another example is diplontic pattern. You know, in diplontic pattern there are diploid cell are present. Diploid cell means they have number of chromosomes in pair, so the number of chromosomes is in 2n. So this type of life cycle is known as diplontic type of life cycle. In this life cycle, gametic meiosis. Meiosis means number of chromosomes becomes half in this life cycle, so this is known as gametic meiosis. Gamete are the 2n. 2n means diploidic number of chromosomes. The next one is diplohaplontic pattern. Diplohaplontic pattern means it has both 2n as well as n. It means diploid cells as well as haploid cells are taking place in these life cycles. So this type of mode of reproduction or life cycle is known as diplohaplontic type of life cycle. Our this lecture is over here. So life cycle are haplontic, diplontic and haplodiploidic. These three type of life cycle are present are there in protists. So our this lecture over here. Our next lecture we have discussed different mode of reproduction in Basilarophyta. So diatom or Basilarophyta is our next topic. Till then, take care. Goodbye. Thank you.